Alright folks, how's it going? I've been thinking that I might try and put a little bit more effort into this YouTube thing. Not that much effort. I'm thinking maybe just release a video every week that's just a quick summary of what I've done in the week, what's happened. And then I'm thinking like the vast majority of the videos might just be like a couple of minutes long, because that's all there is to say. So I thought this would be the first one. So it being the first one, it's got more time to cover, because my last video was on the 20th of August. So I'll just go through what's happened since the 20th of August. I've kind of got myself a little format here in this Excel spreadsheet. So the first thing I'll go through is just how the portfolio's performed in the week. Okay, so yeah, I've just used my usual portfolio unitization. That's going to be done once a week now, as well as at the end of each month. And I've just inputted all the information last night, and we can see that my portfolio's dropped by 3.01%, but Life Strategy 100 dropped by a little bit more. You can see all the information yourselves. I don't really need to read it out, do I? I can't always compare myself to a Life Strategy 100, can I? Because the alternative that is realistic in retirement while you're withdrawing is probably somewhere between these two. So in actual fact, I've probably lost out compared to the alternative withdrawal strategy. So I should probably show you where that minus 3.02% came from, shouldn't I? So I've added a column here in this spreadsheet which just uses that formula, and it basically just gives us the percentage difference in the price of each holding from close on Friday to close on Friday, so from the 30th to the 6th. And as you can see here, the UK ones have slightly outperformed whilst still going down. Well, I don't know what there is to say, to be honest. Biotech growth for some reason went up. Not quite sure what that's all about. NatWest did particularly badly. Scottish Mortgage did particularly badly. Yeah, I don't know what there is to say really, but I just for the record, you can look at the numbers yourself there. Anyway, so there's the performance, and here's just a summary of the dividends I got paid in August. And then just for this week, we've got these dividends. One from Pfizer, Visa. That's from the SCHD approximation, top 50. The one of note is Impacts Environmental Markets. And if we go to the dividends, I mean, what happens in any one week, or even any one month really, is kind of irrelevant for the dividends, because I view it over the full year. And as you can see here, over the full year, we have projected, this is where I've got the information from, we have it projected to be. So this is what's already been paid, this is what's projected to be paid. Obviously the fundsmith I've just included once, same with SCHD. So at the end of my kind of accounting year, which goes to the 6th of October, that's what I project for the full fundsmith approximation. So as you can see there, we're projecting a 4.97% increase compared to last year. So it's progress. So there's my dividends for the week and for last month. But as you'll notice, it's quite a high value for August. 1718 is quite high. But because I don't particularly care what month my dividends get paid, you'll notice that September is a low month. Oh, actually, that's 701.99, but I think I've already had some, so I need to include. Yeah, I need to include these two that I've already had. So 768. So it fluctuates a lot. That's why I view it year to year, not month to month. And you'll notice October's even lower. Look at that, 456, and then November I think bumps up again. Yeah, 2000. So next I'll just go through. Well, let's go through the dividend announcements. This is the one announcement we had during the week, 5th of September. City of London announced their next dividend, but as you can see, it's not a change. It's because with City of London, they set their dividend in Q3, which is normally pays in May, and then they keep it flat until Q3 the next year. So we've already had the increase of the year for City of London. So this really isn't news. Already projected in my spreadsheet here. So I've already got it. Well, that's the one that's just been announced. But as you can see, City of London for the whole next year has it in there as 5.25 pence. So what's happened in the month? So on the 26th of August, you can see there that I just basically I got paid both dividends, or the first dividends, from both of my Novo Nordisk holding, which is part of the fundsmith approximation. Because I held both because I wasn't sure how the dividends would be taxed. I've got a German listed one and a American listed ADR, I think they call it. And I did all the calculations when both the dividends came through, and they basically amounted to the same amount of tax being taken off. The only difference was the American ADR has a slight delay in getting the cash, because obviously they must get paid and then they pay it to you, because it's not really holding the share. I decided that I'd rather accept the delay in the dividend, so that the one holding I keep is the one that trades at the same time of day as the vast majority of the rest of the portfolio. So all of the US ones, which is the vast majority of the portfolio, trade at the same time. So whenever I make a change, it's easier. So as you can see there now, instead of 2 lines for Novo Nordisk, I've just got 1. And it's, as you can see, it's pretty much joint top with Microsoft at the moment. So that was the move I made there, just tidying up the fundsmith portfolio really. And the next one, yeah, I put £2,000 into ERNS, which is the short-term bond ETF, which is basically a cash equivalent, so it's not actually part of the portfolio. Something of note here, I was very disappointed in the price that I got, 101.99. If we look at the chart for ERNS on the 27th, so that spike there, I mean, that's pretty much what I got paid, 101.99. But as you can see, oh no, that, yeah, so that's 8 AM. What time did I? Yeah, 8 AM. Well, 7 AM. I'm not quite sure about that, because the market's not open at 7 AM, is it? I'm not sure about this time. I probably would have been in bed at 7 AM as well. So I don't know what that's all about. 7 AM. So yeah, that must be the one I got, 101.99. Like, it's as if it backdated the price. So I don't know, that could have been, but anyway, 101.99. All of the other ones are 101.6, 101.61. It goes as high as 101.75. So I'm pretty shocked and disappointed in that price I got. So if we skip ahead one here to the 28th, I tried something different with it. I tried what's it called? I can't remember. So if we go into the bond here, I went for a limit order and I set my price. How did I do it? Oh yeah, I set my price here, and I set it to 101. Well, we can see the price here, can't we? 101.59, which was basically, you can, when you look at the chart, you can see there's kind of buys and sells. So they're probably buys and they're probably sells. So that's kind of the spread that the market maker makes. So I kind of set it at the level of the buys. Oh, well, yeah, as you can see there, 101.59. And like 40, I think it was maybe 45 minutes later, I got my order filled at the price I requested. So it seems like you have, with these kind of low liquidity ones, I mean, I'm assuming it's something to do with the liquidity of the instrument. I think you have to be careful. I don't know if this is with all brokers. I'm not sure. If I tried to purchase this in iWeb, for instance, I'm not sure if I would have got such a bad price as this up here. I don't know. I don't know if this is a similar thing that could happen with some of my other holdings. Like at one point I bought Impact. I bought that one. I topped it up and I was quite disappointed with the price on that as well. So I wonder if I'd used the limit order instead of just taking the price that I was given. I wonder if that would have worked better for me, and just like waiting 40 minutes. The thing is though, waiting 45 minutes for the order to get filled is okay for things like ERNS, which are just kind of cash equivalents. They're not going to shoot up and down based on news in the markets. So I felt more comfortable setting a price there. And if the order didn't get filled, I'm still getting 5.2%, or well, it's 5% now, on my cash in trading 212. So I didn't feel so bad setting a limit order. But on something that is going to fluctuate with news, I'd be thinking to myself, oh, I don't really want to be out of the market. What if my order never gets fulfilled? So I don't know. I'm not quite sure how I'd deal with it. Like obviously things like all of the American shares, which are mega liquid. This is all irrelevant. You just get the same price as everyone else, and there's no big deal, no big spread. So anyway, that was something that I thought was of note. And then if we go back to the 27th, I instigated my transfer of my LISA from Hargreaves Lansdown to AJ Bell. This is something I wanted to do because when I first opened my LISA, I was literally 39 and like 350 days old, something like that. So I was at my limit of not being able to open it. So because I already had a Hargreaves Lansdown account, I thought it would be quicker to open it in Hargreaves Lansdown because they have all of my information. I'm already a customer. And then a few months later, I wanted to transfer it to AJ Bell because it was just slightly cheaper. Not much in it, but enough for me to want to bother. But yeah, they couldn't. There was a limit because I was over 40 at the time. There was like a limitation of their system because obviously I've already opened it, so I do qualify for holding the license that I already opened. But yeah, there was a limit in their system. But I tried again on the 27th, and yeah, the system seemed to have been updated, so the transfer is possible now. Me being over 40. Okay, so it's the 5th of September, and I just logged into my AJ Bell account just to see if anything had happened on the transfer. And as you can see, it seems like the money market fund has been transferred. I'm guessing the fact that it's a open-ended fund, what is it, an OIC or a unit trust, maybe they're faster at transferring than ordinary shares. But anyway, yeah, that's only a week and 9 days. But a little bit unusual though is that it still appears in my Hargreaves Lansdown account. I would have expected this to have disappeared. And even I'm not going to click that, but I'm presuming if I tried to do that now, it would not allow me. In fact, if I tried to do anything in this account, I'm guessing it wouldn't allow me. It shouldn't anyway, because it would just confuse the transfer, wouldn't it? And we're back. Is that everything I've got to say? Oh, and I forgot to say earlier, I also had a change in fundsmith. So if we see here, in August, they've told us that they sold out of their Diageo holding, and I already didn't hold it, which is why it now no longer exists here in Fundsmith Holdings Excluded. And it also made me think to myself, well, it sounds like they're going negative on booze. So I took the opportunity, I took that as a signal to sell Brown-Forman as well. You can see the transactions here. So I sold Brown-Forman, and I used the proceeds to top up CrowdStrike and Atlas Copco to be the quote-unquote full position of 2%. And then I used the rest of it to top up Amazon and Apple just out of FOMO. I'm quite underweight those. So if we look at the percentages now, and this is always what happens. So of course I top it up to a 2% and then they go on a bad run. And they're now back down to 1.95 for Atlas Copco and 1.88% for CrowdStrike. So of course that always happens. And I have no doubt whatsoever that Brown-Forman will now go on a tear along with Diageo, and they'll shoot to the sky. I've just heard Nick Train on a podcast telling us how great Diageo is, but his fund is doing pretty badly at the moment, so I'm glad I got out of that when I did. Alright, and there it is in words. Yeah, I think that's everything I've got to say. Yep, alright, I think I'll see you next time then. Have a good Sunday.